Do you own or are you planning on buying a Canon M50 or a Canon M50 Mark II? Well, then you're definitely gonna need this lens. Which one? Well, I'm gonna talk about it. What's up guys, Dan from Lani here and welcome back to a new video. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. If not, just hit the like button. Right now I'm using the Canon M50 with the 10 to 18 millimeters. Therefore, I'm using it with the adapter. It's a Viltrox. Check the links in the description to see all my gear stuff and things. My gear. The sun's going down. Aperture f4.5, which is the maximum aperture for this lens, and ISO 1600. I hope it doesn't look grainy already, because it's gonna get darker. What do you have? What is it?
I have a stick.
I keep it for you?
Yeah, but it's in your pocket.
In my pocket. I just give it to mommy then.
No.
Why not?
Because no.
All right.
No.
Okay. You gonna slide?
Yeah.
All right. You wanna swing?
Yeah.
You go on the swing? All right. As I said, you can see what it looks like this camera, the Canon M50 with a 10 to 18 millimeters. If you want to shoot B-roll, you have to set it to iframe rate. Therefore, 120 frames per second, that means that you have to set your shutter speed at double, like 250, the closest to double 120, 240, so 250, right? And by doing so, it's gonna get much darker. I mean, the image is gonna get really dark. So, what can you do if you want to shoot a B-roll or if you want to vlog completely with a different lens? You can use, for example, the 50 millimeters f1.8 for B-rolls. But then when you want to talk in front of the camera, it's a little bit too tight. So you want one lens that you can use in low light conditions, and at the same time you don't want it really tight. You know, you want to be able to talk in front of the camera without having to move like 8 or 10 feet away from the camera. If you want to do everything with one lens and it's way too dark to use this 10 to 18 millimeters because of its aperture at 4.5, you definitely need to try the 24 millimeters EF-S lens. So this is the 24 millimeters and aperture of 2.8, ISO 1600, and this is what it looks like on the Canon M50 with the adapters, the Viltrox. As you can see, there is some decent shallow depth of field. Like it's a little bit blurred. It's not bad. And if you feel like it's a little bit too tight for vlogging, you can play it smart. You can place it somewhere like on the tripod, standing. You frame yourself and still you don't have to move very far away from the camera to get a decent shot. Like this. You see? I'm standing like, you see, I can touch the camera like this. I can frame myself decently and I can vlog. It's not necessary for me just to keep the camera on the Jelly Gorilla Pod, holding it and walking. Then it depends on your style. And here we have a new friend. ¿Cómo te llamas? Oscar. Alright, welcome. It's gonna be a new subscriber. Awesome. So again, it depends on your style. You want everything to be in frame with as much as possible in the background. Well, I don't know, think about it. But if you don't mind the image to be a little bit tight like this when you walk around with it, or if you want to play it smart, just as I showed you before, you can place a mini tripod, the Jelly Gorilla Pod, somewhere, step away from the camera just a few steps, and Bob's your uncle. Right now is getting really dark. Still aperture wide open, 2.8, ISO 1600. Come here, Michael. You want to say something?
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know? I've been using this lens with the Canon M50, with the Canon 90D, and with the Canon EOS R, and I just love it. I think f2.8 is a great aperture, but of course if you have an f1.8 or f1.4, even better. But as I said, for me this is good enough to make good videos even in low light conditions. Just let me know what you think about it and leave a comment down below and hit the like button and subscribe if you aren't already. My mask keeps falling off. And by the way, this is the last day that I'm supposed to wear it because they're removing this thing of the mask. So I will be able to remove the mask. Again, I'm using this lens, the Canon EF-S 24mm f2.8 on the Canon M50 with the adapter, because this is an EF-S lens. I have to use the regular Viltrox adapter. And again, check the links in the description to see all my gear stuff and things. My gear. And the question they always ask me is, can I use it with the speed booster? The answer is no. The speed booster works with EF lenses only, not EF-S lenses. Why? Because of the piece of plastic or something that makes it not compatible. So if you want to use a speed booster on any EF-S lens, such as this 24mm, you should hack your lens and potentially ruin your camera and your lens. So don't do that. As I always say, don't ever do that. I had already filmed something in the afternoon for a video with the Canon 90D and something in the morning with the Canon EOS R for one of my clients, and I went back home and we had dinner and we decided to go out, and here I am filming again. I think I'm really passionate about it, maybe even addicted. I can't stop filming. The positive things of this lens, first thing is the price. I can't remember how much I paid exactly this lens when I bought it, but I believe 150 bucks or less. I have already shot many videos with it. Actually, I think 90% of the videos I shot in my studio with the Canon 90D and or the Canon M50 were shot using this lens, and the aperture 2.8 makes it very suitable for low light conditions. Just let me know what you think about it, leave a comment down below, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Check the links to Epidemic Sound and you can get 1 month of awesome music and sound effects for free. This is what it looks like when you walk with it, like on the Jobby Gorilla Pod, Canon M50, EF-S 24mm f2.8, ISO 1600, and with the Rode Vita Micro on the top. My arm is almost completely extended in front of me. This lens has no stabilization, just the electronic stabilization of the camera is enabled. I always recommend when you get the Canon M50 or whatever camera to get either the 24mm like this one, the EF-S 24mm at 2.8, and or the Nifty 50. But as I said, the 50mm on a crop sensor camera such as the M50, yes, it works perfectly. It works perfectly with the adapter, and you can use it even with the speed booster because the Nifty 50 is an EF lens. So you can use the speed booster to improve the field of view and get the wider aperture. So what do you think about it? However, still, if you use a crop sensor camera, the 50mm might be a little bit too tight, even though the aperture 1.8 is just awesome. But look at this. 24mm f2.8 at night, completely dark, just with a few street lights, very bad light. And look at this. What do you think about it? I haven't seen this footage yet, so I can't say it looks good. So you leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about it. So maybe for B-rolls it's not really ideal at night, if you are in a situation like this with very poor light. But still, better than nothing. I mean, better than the 10 to 18 millimeters with an f4.5 aperture, and better than the kit lens, for sure. Even without light, with just a few very bad street lights, it shouldn't look very bad. And the bokeh, the shallow depth of field, is like not bad at all. Let me know what you think about it. Alright, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video. What did you want to buy, Michael?
Chips.
So we got chips, so we're going home.